So way back when in high school, I went to a writer's workshop. There, I wrote a one-page little essay, short story that I wrote there, and it was part of the workshop. And one of the dudes there wanted me to submit it, but it wasn't long enough, and over the years, I've been trying to add to it and build a narrative out of it, and I feel like it's at a place where I need to share it and get validation and criticism on it. Because I can't just keep adding to it the way I am now without some kind of support or outside help. So I'm going to read to you that first chapter, and I'm still new to editing. I'm not very good at it, so bear with me. Forgive me for any screw ups, audio issues. Just let me know in the comments, and I'll do my best to address them. But I'm very much a writer at heart. It's what I'm best at, I think. At least I hope so. I'll let you be the judges of that. But enough of me talking. Here is A City of Stars, Chapter 1 by Lewis Grant. As I opened my eyes, confusion swirled around like a thick fog. The room was cold, the floor beneath me icy to the touch. I staggered to my feet, my hands groping in the darkness for any sign of an exit, but there was none to be found. I sank into a corner, the minutes stretching into an eternity as I waited in silence. Then, without warning, a faint buzz filled the air, and the room was flooded with blinding light. Blinking against the sudden brightness, I squinted into the glare. Trying to make sense of my surroundings, the walls were stark white, devoid of any decoration or ornamentation, and there were no obvious doors or windows. A loud click shattered that silence, and a portion of the wall slid open, revealing a yawning abyss of darkness beyond. My heart pounded in my chest as I watched, frozen in place, unsure what to expect. Footsteps echoed through the room, growing louder with each passing moment. My pulse quickened as a large silhouette emerged from the darkness. Casting a long shadow against the white wall, he was tall, imposing, dressed in an all-black suit with a bright red tie. Sunglasses shielded his eyes from view. Behind him trailed a shorter figure, his features obscured by the darkness. He carried something behind his back, hidden from my view. As they approached, a sense of dread washed over me, chilling me to the bone. The tall man stopped in front of me, pointing to the ground with a commanding gesture. Without hesitation, I obeyed, standing where he indicated. But before I could react, he seized the top of my head and forced me to my knees. As I knelt before him, helpless and vulnerable, the short man stepped forward, revealing what he had been hiding behind his back. It was a sword, long and sleek, its black blade gleaming in the harsh light. I tried to look at it, but it seemed to resist my gaze, as if it had not want to be seen. With a swift motion, the tall man grasped the sword, dwarfing it in his massive hand. He lowered the blade until it was level with my belly button. His eyes locked on mine, with an intensity that sent shivers down my spine. In a fluid movement, he pulled back and thrust forward, driving the blade through my abdomen with shocking force. Felt the pain shudder through me as it pierced my flesh, the cold steel tearing through muscle and bone. As quickly as it had begun, it was over. I slumped to the ground, blood pooling around me as I struggled to draw breath. The tall man wiped the blade clean with a cloth that seemed to materialize out of thin air, his expression unreadable behind his sunglasses. The short man lowered his shades for a moment, revealing bloodshot eyes that glowed with an otherworldly light. Then, without a word, they turned and disappeared into the darkness, leaving me alone in the cold, empty room. As lights flickered and died, I felt my eyelids grow heavy. Exhaustion washed over me like a tidal wave, pulling me into the depths of darkness as my world faded to black. And in that final moment of consciousness, as the searing pain radiated through my body, I wondered what horrors awaited me on the other side of oblivion. Darkness closed in, and my consciousness started to slip away. Just then, moments before I succumbed to the void, the door creaked open. From the abyss, General Tim emerged, a figure of authority and urgency. "You're not going anywhere today. You're not going anywhere. Not today, Doctor," he declared, his voice firm but tinged with concern. As I began to fade into unconsciousness, I could hear General Tim's voice, distant, filled with worry. "Oh God, what have they done to you?" he says as I slipped into the void.